Welcome back, guys. Sorry I haven't been uploading videos more often. I've been going through a lot of personal issues with me now being out of the military, but I came here today to make you guys a quick 7.1.5 guide on how to use the Holy Paladin spreadsheet in the Holy Paladin Discord made by Dreamguard. Please be aware that this video is going to be heavily edited, as I'm not going to be taking a break anywhere in between. So if I make any mistakes, I'm sorry for that, and I'm going to try and get them edited out as best as I can. I'm just trying to get this information out there as quickly as possible so a lot of people can put to rest the fact that haste is valued more than any other secondary. On occasion it will be, but here we go, guys. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go on over to the Discord app. You're going to open up Discord and you're going to go over to the Holy Paladin Discord. As you see here, I have it open into the Holy Channel. Then you're going to go over to the Holy Facts, and underneath here where it says Dream, you're going to see that there are quite a few spreadsheets. The spreadsheet you're going to want to use is Dreamguard's spreadsheet. It's the universal spreadsheet that most of us that have been using, and it's the one I'm going to be using today. I already have it opened up. I'll open it up here quickly for you guys so you can see that it does say February 1st with this update that I'm going to be walking you guys through it. So you have it open. I have it open over here. This is my old one here, so I'm going to close that so you guys don't think I'm cheating. So the goal here is to get this haste value to be lower than crit or any other secondary you believe it should be lower than, which is, it's fairly simple. It's just a lot of people aren't doing what they're supposed to do. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to File, make a copy. I'm going to make this the 7.1.5 guide copy because I already have one made up. I'm just going to walk you guys through it step by step on how to do it. Once you have it open, you can go ahead and change that. I would recommend favoriting it and saving it as a bookmark so you don't lose it and you can find it later on, because as a Holy Paladin for this spreadsheet, you're going to need to update it every single time you get a upgrade, or you can try to use Pawn. Pawn is okay to use and input these stat weights, but you're going to want to use the spreadsheet as often as possible and update it as most as possible. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to put my selected raid talents. I use Bestow Faith, Rule of Law, Blinding Light, Oar of Mercy, Holy Prism, Judgment of Light, and Beacon of Faith. I use Beacon of Faith because I have the shoulders and I believe it's going to give me the best value per heal with Beacon of Faith instead of trying to beacon swap or just having beacon on one tank and then healing the other when needed. After that, you're going to actually go in game and get the information for everything else. So let's get in game. I'm going to go ahead and minimize this out. We're going to move this to the other screen real quick. Open game to your character interface. Ensure that your raid set is equipped. I do have my 2-piece raid set. I don't have 4-piece set, unfortunately. But make sure you have 2-piece open up. That's legitimately all you need to do for now. And just make sure you have enough space to get the information here so you can play it, put it in the player stats. So next, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to get your intellect value, 42,243. 42,243. And you're going to keep on getting it for the following stats. And as you guys can see, I don't have food buff. I'm in my Mythic Plus talents actually, but it doesn't matter what you are in game as long as you're putting the information as if you were to use it for a raiding environment. You're going to want to get your item level, your weapon item level. Mine is 908. And I know for a fact that I have 6 out of 6 shock treatment, which is going to eventually change when I get my 4-piece. Let's go ahead and nab the rest of the secondaries. So I have, with food buff, I know I have 14,800, which is 45% crit exactly. I have more than that with food buff, so I'm just going to go ahead and put 14,800. You're going to see that it's going to load, adjust the value for crit. I also have 2-piece, so you're going to go down to the tier set and select yes. Another thing that you'll notice is that crit is actually valued the lowest stat now because of this. That's fine. That means we've reached the threshold for Holy Shock to crit every single time. That's all that means. You can continue getting crit if you like, but I would recommend just stopping at that point once you get to 45% or close to 45%. Our haste value is 3365. So we're going to go ahead, and you're going to see haste value drop jump up quite significantly, almost to 1.0, but it's at 0.99, and we're going to get that down, and I'm going to show you guys how to do it. Mastery is 5292. That obviously fluctuates because I do have the celestial map. So does my crit rating, versatility, and so does haste because it can give you haste as well. Versatility is 913. And then we have Leech at a ripe 432. So, as you guys can see, these are the raw stats. This is if a person new to playing Holy Paladin immediately uses this spreadsheet. Obviously, we have this equipped. This is what they're going to see. This is what they're going to go by. They're going to come into the Holy Paladin Discord and they're going to be like, hey guys, haste is valued more than all my other secondaries other than Leech. What is going on right now? And I'm going to tell you why that's happening. It's because you guys are not going down into the miscellaneous section and changing all of this information. And you have to go about it pretty mathematically. The best way to do it is you're going to open up Warcraft logs and pray that you have logs logged in. If you're a heroic raider, you're going to be using your heroic logs. If you're a mythic raider, and hopefully you have some mythic kills or mythic wipes logged for you to base all this information off of, you're going to use your mythic logs. So let's go ahead. I'm going to use my information because I put it in the spreadsheet, and I'm now on Sargeras, not on Storm Rage anymore for all of you that are trying to figure it out. And I'm going to go ahead and just use my mythic logs for this. They're not the great, but they're my mythic logs, right? My heroic logs are obviously different. They vary pretty greatly, but I'm not a heroic raider. I'm a mythic raider, and I want to benefit myself in a mythic raid more. So let's go ahead, and we're going to open up the best night for each one, because what do we want to do? We want to always be on the top every single night. So whenever this wants to pop up. Okay. Gonna open that up. Then open up Triliax on this one here. So when you're at these windows here, you can either click on your character name in the meters below, or you can just go ahead and do it the quick way. Just get your source here. Alright, so now that we have that available, we can see all of the values here. My overheal for each heal, my number of casts, as you can see here. In regards to heals, not all abilities, just to heals. And it goes for the likes of all three. You can also, if you don't have any Mythic Nighthold logs and you're trying to get into Mythic raiding into Nighthold, or your guild just started Mythic raiding, you can use your Emerald Nightmare Mythic logs to base all this information off of. But that's another beast. So, unused global cooldowns per minute. You can pretty much just go to your activity time for that one. So, the typical healing activity time for a healer is 98 to 99%. So you can see here that my activity time was 99.84%. So that means probably one unused global cooldown per minute. Probably, right? So we'll change that to 1. It varies greatly. If you're not doing anything, then it's going to vary greatly, right? So change it accordingly. Not everything's going to be the same. Mastery effectiveness. This varies for every single fight. Your mastery effectiveness percentage down here is going to drastically change your mastery pawn weight or stat weight here. So let's say my mastery effectiveness is always 100%. You're going to see mastery jump up to 1.09. I always like to go with 80 to 90. I always just keep it at the default 80 because I never know. But if there's a fight that you know for a fact your mastery effectiveness is always 100% or always 90 something percent or always 95%, you can use it there. I know in the Holy Paladin Discord there is someone working on a mastery effectiveness calculator, and it's still in the beta testing, which is why I'm not going to use it here, but when it's available, please keep on the lookout for it and use that accordingly. So you can use your heal, and the next thing we're going to go over is the heals on beacon. This is obviously determines on how much damage your tanks take. Obviously your heals on beacon are going to be more if the tank is taking a lot of damage and you have to focus them more. If not, you can just be healing them off of the beacon of lights, and that's it. What I usually like to do here is there's a way to calculate it. You can go into every single spell here and see how many times you cast a flash of, or a holy shock or any type of heal on a tank. So as you can see here, I have 11 casts on the tanks for holy shocks, and then you add everything up and then divide it by the amount, and that's how you get your percent of heals on beacon. And it has to be effective healing. So if you're just casting heals on a tank, which is why you can't really calculate this percentage exactly, it has to be effective healing, as you can see with the message here left by Dreamguard. This is the percentage of time that holy light or flash of light is used on a beacon target. This assumes that you're healing a beacon target because they are taking damage and not because there's nothing else to do, which if you guys have watched my progression rating streams before, I do that a lot. I just heal the tanks just to heal them because there's really nothing to do, and I wait for somebody to receive some damage and then I cancel that cast and heal it on them. But it's all dependent. You could change this value to whatever you want. It's really not going to change any of your stat weights here. It's just going to change your projected HPS results. So now your beacon overheal. This is something you can actually for sure calculate. So I'm going to bring over my calculator here. I'm just going to clear this because I was just doing some math earlier. And you can see here, for the 3 mythic kills that I have, my overheal is 40.09. So we're going to go put 40.09 here. On, what is this, Scorpion, 46.65. And Trilliax is 60.53. Because we only have 3 kills, we're going to divide that by 3, and you're going to get a value of 49.09. You're going to go ahead and put that in here, 49.09, and that's how you get your beacon overheal. That's going to obviously change the more you raid and the more you get kills and the more efficient you become. But for the time being, that's what it's going to stay at. Next thing we're going to go to is holy light to flash of light ratio. This is going to heavily fluctuate your haste value. This is where a lot of people, this is the values that a lot of people don't change to reduce that haste value. They're not keeping count, or they're not trying to calculate how many flash of lights to holy lights they're casting or how many holy lights to flash of lights they're casting. And it's pretty simple. You can guesstimate, you can do exact maths. I'm going to go ahead and guesstimate here. We're going to see on this fight that I cast 5 holy lights, right? I'm going to move this out of here. 5 holy lights. So the holy light to flash of light ratio, let's see, you're going to do 5 divided by, what is it? Flash of light 60 is 0.08, so 8%. We're going to go here as well. Flash of light, 45 to holy light, 4 divided by 45, 8%. Flash of light to holy light here as well. Flash of light, 43 to holy light, 4 divided by 43. 4 divided by 43, 9%. So we can guesstimate around that. It's about 8.3% holy light to flash of light ratio. So this is a percentage base from 1 to 1 being 100 and 0.085 or 0.83, I'm sorry, being 8.3%, and you're going to see haste value is officially dropped to 0.88. And that's where a lot of people are screwing up their stat weights and saying, oh my goodness, Holy Paladin chat, or oh my goodness, Pereadin, my haste value is so high. Why is it so high? And it's because you're going into the spreadsheet and you're not taking account into these miscellaneous values, which actually mean a lot to you as a Holy Paladin player. And then you have your Infusion of Light usage ratio. Me, because you guys can see on my logs, I literally cast Flash of Light on cooldown all the time. There's not a time where I'm not casting Flash of Light, as you guys see. So my Infusion of Light ratio usage is 99% of the time, without a doubt, being used on Flash of Light for the empowered healing that it attributes to it. So because of that, as you guys can see the note left by Dreamguard here, it says ratio of usage of Infusion of Lights on Holy Light or Flash of Light. A value of 0% means 100% of IOLs are used on Holy Light. 1 means 100% of IOLs are used on Flash of Light. 0.5 would be 50% for both. Because I use Flash of Light or Infusion of Light 99% of the time paired with Flash of Light, I'm going to put 0.99. And you're going to see again, these values may or may not change. They didn't change for me. And then LTM cast per minute. You guys can see that on Chronomatic is one of the only fights where I cast Light of the Martyr because of the shields that you have to break during the AoE damage. On other fights, you don't see me using that heal because I particularly don't like using Light of the Martyr. So here, you can change it on like a per fight basis, but for the general consensus, I use it 0% of the time. If you want to change it, go ahead, you can change it. You can say I use 1 Light of the Martyr per minute, and you're going to see that the value for Light of the Martyr on your spell breakdown here is going to pop up and be there. But because I rarely or at all don't use Light of the Martyrs, I'm going to set it at 0. Next, you're going to be like, oh my goodness, why is Leech so valued so high for us? Oh, well, if you don't have Leech, obviously Leech is going to be valued so high because you can't calculate the Leech overheal, which is going to be set at 0. But because I have Leech, I can go ahead and calculate my Leech overheal and see how much effective healing it's doing to see how much of a difference it's going to make on gear once I get it, if it doesn't have crit mastery or crit verse or it's haste mastery or something of the sorts. So as you guys can see here, I do have Leech, and for, what is this fight? Chronomatic Anomaly, it did 35.0% of the healing. So let's bring my calculator back over here. That's how I got the heals on beacon, or how did I get that value? What value was I doing that for? The infusion of the Holy Light to Flash of Light ratio. So that's how I was getting the math. So we're gonna go over here, back to Chronomatic Anomaly, and we're going to add 35.07% plus 26.64% on Scorpion, 64, plus 55.81 on Trilliax. Then we're going to go ahead, divide this number by 3 because we only have 3 logs to go by, and we're going to get 39.17% overheal. So we're going to obviously go in here, 39.17%, and you're going to see Leech's value drop pretty significantly to 1.1, but it's still valued pretty high. You can obviously go ahead into your Emerald Nightmare logs or Heroic logs and get all these values that I just laid out for you and show you how to do the math for through your Heroic logs for your progression rating. But I recommend that the more you do your progression rating and the more you get viable logs for it, the more you should use your Mythic logs for these calculations than Heroic logs, because Heroic healing and Mythic healing, as we all know, is completely different, and you might do more healing, you might do less healing, but you should be doing more healing in the 2 different environments. And as you guys can see, my final stat weights for this calculation here is 1 for intellect, obviously, 0.61 for crit, 0.88 for haste, 0.9 for mastery, versatility is 0.91, and leech is 1.1. Now, this is obviously going to change. If you're a Crusader's Might player, your haste value is going to increase, as you guys can see there. It just jumps up to 0.96. It's also going to change if you prefer, let's say, Sanctified Wrath. Never mind. It didn't even change. It's definitely going to change if you prefer Holy Avenger, though. If you prefer Holy Avenger 0.92, it's going to go up to it. It's just whatever talents you prefer to use, it might switch off whenever it wants to. That can all change by, like, literally I can put this value at 0 and just never use Flash of Light or Holy Light, and it'll adjust the value of haste. But me personally, I prefer Holy Prism. It does more healing in my opinion, or is more useful, because we run 2 Holy Paladins in my raid than Holy Avenger. There are fights where I do choose Holy Avenger, such as Chronomatic Anomaly, but for the most part, every single fight I'm using Holy Prism, unless it's Chronomatic Anomaly and Spellblade Illyrio. Those are probably the only 2 fights where I actually use Holy Avenger, but I'm even thinking about switching off of Holy Avenger for Spellblade because of how much mana I blow through it. As you guys can see, my time until is 3:33, which is not long by all means, especially for a Mythic Raider, so I have to be very, very mana efficient when it comes to raiding. And you guys can see in my streams that I am very, very efficient when it comes to it. I'm not sure if it's going to change if you use 4-piece. It does. Mastery went up, crit went up, and haste also went up, as did my time until it dropped, so it means I'm going faster. But it's all personal, guys. You can change these to suit yourself, but I don't think haste should always be 1.0 or 1.0 or anything like that. It should always be close to, with the changes at least, but not severely more than the other secondaries, unless you're really heavy on leech. But that's it, guys. I appreciate you watching the video. I appreciate you guys wanting to learn more about being a Holy Paladin, and I hope this video helped you out a lot. And if it did, please give me a like and subscribe, and I hope to release more YouTube content in the future. If you have any questions, you can find me here on YouTube or in the Holy Paladin Discord. Just look for my name. It's Pereadin, and it's pretty easy to ping me, and I can answer your questions there. You can PM me or just ask me in the Discord or the Holy Paladin chat itself, or you can even go there and ask other Holy Paladins that might be better than me or be more experienced, and they can help you with whatever questions you have. Thank you, guys, and I hope to release a video sometime soon again. Thank you all, and have a good one.